Now I cut through a couple cutscenes,
We've placed some basic gear for
more
you
so
around the
story
grounds.
related.
Make sure to choose a weapon that
So if
suits
you
you.
wish to watch them, go right on ahead. I ain't gonna talk anything about the story. I'm mostly focusing on main game mechanics. Alright, so where we are now is we are in Astera in your character's room. Character moves about 3 times in Monster Hunter World. So this room kind of looks a little shanty, but you'll move up and you'll get a nicer room. So no worries. Now, item box. So I know a lot of games they have universal storage, or some storage boxes are linked to certain locations. So like say this box, if I put an axe in here, if I go to another storage box, I can't get that axe. I have to come back to this box. This game has universal storage, so you can put things in this box and it can be in any item box in any area of the game. Right now, the only area is Astera and the Gathering Hub in Astera. So what we're going to do right now, as you can see in the upper right hand corner, it says equip a weapon from the item box. And it says to little tutorial about pendants that was added into Iceborne. It's the little thing that goes on the end of your weapon. Doesn't really do anything for you. Like it says at the bottom, pendants have no actual function in combat. It's more so cosmetic. So we'll exit that tutorial. And the only thing that I can do right now, obviously, because I do not have a weapon on me, I know that big knife on my back looks intimidating, but we're going to go into the bigger weapons now. The different weapons. So there are 1,400 weapons. So I know in other games you have to, like say for Black Desert or Vindictus or any kind of game like that. I know I'm kind of speaking more so massive multiplayer online RPGs. Um, you can pick, you can have one character and pick from any of the weapons that you want. So I like it because it's a nice spice of life. So from right here, like it's saying, I'm not going to read everything on the screen, but obviously the different weapons, they're going to do different things. They're going to focus more on different aspects of the game. Armor sets, they're in sets of 5. Right now, I have the Guardian armor that Capcom has given to everybody who starts a new game now if you buy the Iceborne edition of Monster Hunter, which gives you quite a bit of defense right off the bat in the game. I'll go over weapon abilities here in a second. Excuse me, armor skills in a second. I apologize. All right, so first weapon, sword and shield. Actually, let's pick the sword and shield. We're gonna back out. So easy peasy, right? Sword and shield. Let's see. It says to talk to the handler at the canteen, but we're not gonna do that.
You can get more
Or
familiar
we're
with the
not gonna do
weapons.
it if we can. What we're gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to take y'all to the training area. And I'm going to show you, not to get too detailed in the weapons, kind of make like a little tier list really quick. Nothing too fast.
Handlers search for
Nothing too
research
fast, nothing
missions
too long
leads,
either.
and the ones they deem
It's
worth our
not letting
attention
me do
become
it. Why
quests.
are you not? Okay, technical difficulties. Let's go to the room. Another way to go to the training area is opening the map and going to the world map and going to the training area that way. But let's talk to the housekeeper. Hey, wants to talk to me. Any bonuses or add-ons, actually, I would go ahead and claim those, because especially if you got a certain like Iceborne edition, you could have gotten more things. So like me, I got the gig, I pre-ordered, so obviously a lot of stuff I have to collect. Um, and then there were some early hunt packages. I didn't do all of them for every expansion, but I did quite a few. All right, and then once you're finished taking all those, you're good. What I will do is I'm going to change my look up a little bit. I'm going change. So this is where you change your equipment. Yeah, so actual armor, what I'm going to do is change my appearance in my layered armor. So this is just armor that goes over my actual armor. So it's kind of just for looks. So I got 3 right now. It's because I had the pre-orders. If you don't have these, not a big deal. Does not help you in the game any shape or form. Any way, shape, or form. I just like looking a little different. And there we go. That's usually the look I go for. Let's see, what does that look like? Nope. Not look like that. Okay. There we go. That's usually my look when I first start out the game. Like I said, doesn't do anything particularly. It's just for appearances. Now we're going to go to the training area, and I'm going to do that tier list of weapons really quick, without getting too detailed in one weapon or another. Probably going to go with I wouldn't say the easiest weapons. I'll just go down the line. That'll make it easier. So, training area, great area. Really like it. Because you can practice. So see triangle, draw your weapon. Too easy, right? And you have other attacks here in the lower left-hand column. Little techniques and such. The sword and shield weapon guide in the mid-left. So triangle is the chop. Then the triangle and square. R2 is the guard. Left trigger is the slinger. And with the L2 or left trigger held, you can either fire a shot, which I do not have any ammo at the moment. We can go and grab some. There we go. Pull the weapon out. Aim. And R2 or R right trigger to fire. Now there are different slinger ammo types, but they all are fired the same way. Just gather them up, point, and shoot. Now, as you can see, it does lock on, which is kind of nice, especially if you're a little newer at the game, because I can move my screen, my trigger, but like right there. So like right there, it'll get, it'll pull off the auto target, excuse me. All right, weapon tier list. So sword and shield. Real simple. Got a shield, got a sword. You can slash, you can bash, you can back up, and you can duck on them. Sword and shield is really fast. The damage that you're going to see is not as extensive, but if a creature does give you an opening, you can definitely get in there, do some damage, then get out of the way. Alright, next weapon. And best feature about sword and shield, you can block. So if you're in a oh dang moment and you don't think you're gonna, so like this little bomb right here, look at that, block. Now my Palico little helper is gonna put another one there, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like without blocking. Yep, put you on your butt. There you go.
You can use the item box to make
Change equipment. Next weapon. Oh, great. Old Faithful. Great sword. Now, slow weapon, but does lots of damage. So you're going to hold the attack button, let it go, C70, one swing. But obviously you can see it takes some time to build up this power. So it hurts. So that's the main attack with the triangle or the Y button. And then you have the circle or B button. You have a wide slash, a tackle, tackling can be used for a nice little gimmick. If I go out on a hunt with a greatsword, I will show you. Also, good thing about the greatsword, you can block with it too. Now, I don't suggest blocking with the greatsword because it does deteriorate your sharpness, which the sharpness bar can be found underneath the health and stamina bar, which is in the upper left-hand corner. It looks like a little sword. It's glowing a yellow right now. And as you can see, that yellow is kind of going away every time that I swing the sword at something. Now the sharpness necessarily won't go away if I swing at nothing, so... See? At least I don't think it is. Nope, it ain't going away. But once you do hit something, it will... Yep, see? It is dropping down. Now, when you drop down, you're going to start doing less and less damage. So what you want to do is you want to sharpen your weapon with the whetstone, which you have infinite of. All you have to do is sheath your weapon, hit square on it, or X button, and it'll sharpen the weapon. Moving on. Let's go with the heavy damage dealers first. So, hammer does blunt damage. So obviously hammer, you think, okay, smash things. You can absolutely do that. And especially with the hammer, you can knock monsters out. It just takes a little bit of time. So nice combo I like, just keep tapping circle or B. Now, as you can see, it does move a little slower. A little faster than the greatsword, but still slower than the sword and shield. Really fun weapon. I had a buddy, he absolutely loved doing this with the hammer, because if you're fighting a monster on a hill, you go ahead and do this little number, and a little spin to win. And you just run up the hill again, and go back down. I don't suggest doing that all the time, because you're not always going to have a hill. So if you're using hammer strictly for that purpose, I wouldn't suggest it. Let's see, another heavy type weapon. I would say... I know someone's going to correct me if I'm wrong, which is fine. Switch axe, I kind of consider up in that heavy damage dealers, because it does have the potential to do some crazy damage. So, if you're a big axe fan, I suggest getting this. But if you like swords too, it turns into a sword. Hence the name Switch Axe. Now what I'm doing here, if you can see in the upper left hand corner, it's building up this little blue bar around the weapon. Now it's fully lit. So what we do, this little trick, hold triangle and press triangle and circle, and keep tapping triangle. I did circle instead. Keep tapping triangle, keeps attacking, and then boom, big damage. Well, that's the axe. Alright, let's go into... I'm going to pick another category, which is, I would say, the medium style weapons. Which are the medium damage. Which is, one of them is the lance. But I'm not knocking on the lance for doing medium damage. You can do some serious damage with the lance if you learn how to use it properly. So primarily you have a thrust that points upwards, and you have the triangle that points forwards. So peck, peck, and you have a swipe. And you can bounce backwards, which is nice, because you can make some distance between you and the monster. Now, as a lance, typically people love to just tank hits, so they'll just get behind this big gold shield and just tank hits. Now when you do tank hits, see the stamina bar up in the left hand corner, that yellow bar. Watch what happens. Boom. So now my stamina's gone. And I'm still holding behind the shield. But watch what happens when I hold the block button and start to move. stamina comes back. So, in an ideal world, you want to you have to block, and then start moving. So you can regain that stamina. That goes for any weapon that you can block. However, great sword you cannot move and block. You hold still. So let me pull this sword back out. I know this is a terrible video. First time making a video, so bear with me. So block. Yep. It actually goes from the block to the ready position. So, just like so. Next weapon. Alright, medium damage dealer. I would say katana. Or the longsword. Now, longsword is my personal favorite. I know I'm probably diming myself out here. It's like everybody hates longsword players, which I understand, but I usually play by myself, or if I do help people, I usually typically stay away from where if they're hurting the head, that's fine. I'll go for the tail, because the longsword is a sever weapon, so I typically like severing the tails. Same concept. You have your circle move, your triangle move. Main thing with the longsword is if you see that blade underneath the sharpness bar, it's building up your spirit blade move, which is the R2 button. Now, you do move pretty quick with this, and you do a pretty good amount of damage. Now, that move I just there was called the Aya Sheath. I'm not sure if that's in base game Monster Hunter World. I mean, unless they added in those moves to World without having Iceborne. But essentially, you need to attack and then right trigger and X to engage the Aya Sheath. And it's more so, if you know what you've been doing in the game, you can time moves right, and you can fade through an attack. There's also the fade / slash. That was the Aya Sheath, excuse me. And this is the Spirit Helm. What am I doing? Oh my goodness. I don't know how to play the game now. There it is. That's the Foresight Slash. So if you see a move coming, like this, just like that. So see where there's a little shadow of myself. Let's see if I can do it again. There it is. And if I make contact with that upward swing, I can hit R2 and do a powerful attack where it gives me a spirit gauge. But that's getting a little technical, so just if you like samurais, stuff like that, I'd suggest using that weapon. It's quite fun. Dual blades. I would say definitely a medium damage dealer. They are very quick. You can get a lot of attacks in. Now I know these numbers don't look anything appealing, but considering with how many attacks you can do in a short amount of time, the damage does add up. So the main gimmick of the dual blades is demon mode, so R2, and now you're running around like a anime character, which does make you a little faster, but it eats up your stamina bar, as if you see in the upper left hand corner. So demon mode is what you use to build up the bar below your sharpness bar. And it does unlock some moves, like this claw attack. I couldn't attach to the pole. There's another training area with a simulated monster that you could grab onto and do some damage. I like dual blades because they're quick. Get in there. You can evade. Yep, you can use your slinger ammo to do an evade shot. So if you say, what is it, stone? Yeah, stone, you can get the maximum amount of, well, not the maximum amount, without any slinger, 20 shots. So you could be here slashing and a stabbing, need to get out of the way, boom. Now you have 19 more to go. Keep slashing, now to get out of the way, boom. And the evade shots are only to the side, I believe. Let's see if it's to the front. Yep, you can do one to the front. You just cannot do one to the rear. Oh, as I was. You could do one to the rear. Okay. Now, these next couple weapons are going to be more so... Oh, as it was, let me see. Alright, let's go with the bow, because I think the bow is the less technical. So, obviously it's a bow. Just like any other game, when you aim any kind of weapon, or projectile weapon, aim with the left trigger. Now with this, obviously a bow, so you want to draw. And as you can see, I charged it up all the way and shot 3 arrows. That was 1 arrow for 4 damage. 2 ammos for 2 arrows for 6. And if I charge it up, 3 for 6. Okay. Now there is no... Triangle is what you use to apply your coatings. And power coating, primarily what I like to use, because it gives you more damage, as you'll see here in a second. Yep, 3 for 9. Now, its ultimate move, basically Hanzo from Overwatch, if you're a fan. Yep, just big ass arrow without the dragons. Nice combo with the bow is circle. So you can just tap circle all day, and you can drop coconuts. I think they're iron balls, but everybody calls them coconuts. So circle, circle, circle. So it's kind of a little utility. I know they just appear out of nowhere. It's magic. There's dragons, so I guess deal with it. Okay. Now, maybe this would probably be a little less technical. Yeah. We'll see. Insect glaive is a staff. So if you don't use the bug at all, it's just a nice little staff. Nice medium weapon damage dealer. However, hold L2, hit triangle, send your little bug out. What he just did is he just extracted essence. Now, that orange is for defense. It gives you a defense boost. The white is a speed boost. Now moving around a little faster. Now let's see what this one gives me. Red. And red is an attack boost. And when you get all 3, you get a bigger boost. And with having the red power up, unlocks more combos for the insect glaive. Yep. Nice little aerial style gameplay too. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll do the hold right trigger and then X to go in the air and then tap circle and pretend to be a helicopter all day. Now ideally, I mean, you'd be really hard to hit, but you're not honestly doing a lot of damage. You're going to do a lot more damage on the ground. Yep, just like that. Alright, moving on, because this video is getting a lot longer than I thought it would. Oh, now we're going to get into some of the... this one's a little less technical, so I think this one and maybe a couple others will be the less technical ones. So this is a lance, gun lance, as it was. So it looks just like the lance, except it has shells. So you can, make explosions. Anyone's a big fan of Borderlands 2, they'll know what I'm talking about. Alright, main thing with this is all your shellings deteriorate to your sharpness. Kinda sucks. But that's the mechanic of the game. Got a nice big shield so you can tank as well. And as you can see, you can do a little poke. You're fighting the monster, poke, get hit, poke, get hit, poke. Or you can go ahead get some big damage in there. Oh, I missed altogether. Terrible. There we go. Now I'm right up in its explosions.
The weapon is losing its sharpness. Create some distance, then use a
Now the guy's telling me my weapon has lost sharpness, therefore it loses power. Put away my weapon, and I'm going to sharpen it. All better. Alright, and then big gimmick of the gun lance. Big explosion. And after that, you see your barrel's a little red hot. You won't be able to do that that attack after a bit. So kind of technical, not really. All the weapons definitely have their gimmicks. Once you find a weapon that you really like, come to the training area, practice, and you'll have more fun. Okay, actually, before getting into that one, let me get into the bow guns. Bow guns, I feel like, are a little less technical than the switch axe. Not switch axe. Charge blade, excuse me. Bow gun. So, if you like Monster Hunter, or let's say you like the game, think it looks cool, just not a big fan of swinging a sword or swinging a hammer, well, I got the best thing for you. You can shoot a gun. So you got your normal ammo. To change ammo, just hold your left bumper button or L1 button and use triangle and X to slide up and down. X for down, or A for down, triangle Y for up. Obviously, you'll see the name of the ammo, and you'll see a 1 or a 2 or no number next to it. See, this only has 1 level. Normal ammo has 3. Pierce has 3. Poison, that's status ammo. I'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. Piercing ammo, kind of self-explanatory. It pierces, so you shoot through that pole. You can see it shot the barrel behind it. So kind of like Full Metal Jacket. So, and then reload with triangle. Now some of the ammo is going to take more time to reload. Let's see what this one is. Alright, see that one? That animation wasn't too bad. Now this one, yep, I gotta hold it to my side and see what this one. Yep, that one's easy. Super easy. Alright, now we have... Now not only can your gun be a rifle, but it can be a shotgun too. So spread ammo, this is like buckshot. So you can kind of change it up. So it's like, alright, I don't want to swing a sword or anything, but I want to do a good amount of damage, so you can get up in its face and just unload. You like explosions? You got explosions. Sticky ammo. Little onset delay. Got lots of recoil in that ammo. And it does take some time to reload. Now, that's the light bow gun. A lot more maneuverable. So you can move around, shoot. You definitely want to stay on the move with this one. However, its big brother, the heavy bow gun. Yeah, see, feel real big, and really slow. So, let's see what else you got here. Slicing ammo. This is nice. You shoot it, kind of breaks like glass. Yeah, see, nice little damage there. Cluster bomb. All right, so you like artillery? You want to shoot from up high or something, or you like being that guy who's in the background just blowing everything up? You can be all the way over here, monsters down there, fighting with your pals, and you're just freaking raining hell. Look at that. Wavering ammo. Alright, so this is pretty much like the Gun Lance's ultimate. Nice big damage dealer. Now with all gun ammo, you have special ammo. The special ammo you activate with either the circle or the B button. It does take some time to start with this. Now, like a machine gun, recoil does kind of kick. As you can see, I'm letting it go, but if you hold the stick down just so slightly, kind of keep it aimed. Boom. Now, you just got to give it time, it'll reload back up. So that's ammo that you can't buy, or you can't make. You got to wait for it to recharge. So if I hit circle again, as you can see in the right hand corner, there's only maybe a couple shots in there until it depletes. Yep, about 5 or 6. I wasn't really counting. Okay, last 2. And that's it for this video. Alright. Frickin' hunting horn. Pretty technical. So every time you swing your weapon, you play a note. If you can see that in the upper left hand corner underneath the sharpness bar. Now what I just did is I put a sequence of buttons in, and now it allows me to play a song with R2. So R2. Now it's going to play the song. And what I can do again is an encore, which powers that ability up even more. Now let's do attack up. So let's see, triangle, circle, circle. Yeah, let's do a little bit more. Now again, this weapon's kind of technical. For those who've been playing for a while, you're probably quite familiar with it. And so what you can do here is now I got 3 songs lined up in a row. I'm going to hit R2. And I'm just going to let them play out. They're going to go all the way down. And now I'm going to hit R2 again. And now they're maxed out. The hunting horn, you can definitely, you do blunt damage. So it's kind of like the hammer. So you can knock out monsters if you do enough hits. You cannot sever tails. You can only knock out monsters. You can break parts, just no cutting of tails. Alright. I would probably say Charge Blade is, next to Hunting Horn, is probably the most technical. Because what you need to do, if you look in the upper left hand corner, is you have a sword, a shield, and it looks like 5 vials. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to slash. It looks pretty simple. It looks just like a big sword and shield at this point. Now, okay, so now those vials are red. So I'm going to hold the block button and hit circle. Now those vials are charged. Now, what you can do with those vials is you can either upgrade your shield, which increases your defense and unlocks some new moves for you. Or you can just charge it up and just keep going along. So now, vials are full again. This time I upgraded my sword. So now my sword has some impact damage on it, so I could essentially knock a monster out. But luckily, since it's a severing weapon, I can still cut a tail off. Now, what old boy can really do, turn into a big old axe. And you can swing and do a lot of damage. But what people really like to use this weapon for is this little guy right here. Yeah. In the higher levels, you get a lot of damage out of that. But remember, timing is very important in this game, because here I'm in a training environment. It's a controlled test area. So this monster just sitting here, You'll have to learn how to time this stuff really well. Yeah. So those are the 14 weapons. I'm sure I've missed some things. Just try to do this really quick. Not trying to get too detailed into any one weapon or another. The next little video, I'll probably get into more about the items themselves. Um, Not so much the items themselves, but how to make some of the items that we're going to need starting off. So like potions, antidotes. Um, so raw meat, I'm going to show you how to cook that. And just trying to start maybe the next mission and show what it looks like. So, I guess that's it for now. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it and bearing with me. Not really, not really used to this, but hopefully learning to grow. So, y'all have a great day and take care.